So the iPhone 12 mini. This is my review of this tiny thing. Let's get into it. I've had this thing for the full 2 weeks now, and it was my main phone all last week, and it's been my secondary phone all this week. Now, let's talk design, which is of course the most obvious thing about this phone. But I want to go ahead and give you the perspective of someone with really large hands, right? And to the average user, this is a small phone, right? Except to me, this is more than a small phone. It's a tiny phone. It's really small. It's really tiny. It's a very light phone also. Now keep in mind that my main phone is the Galaxy Z Fold 2 and my secondary phone is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So there was kind of a form factor shock, if I could call it that, to move down from those large phones to this small thing. So this would be what it looks like in my hands, right? It's a very compact phone. It would be good for the average user for sure. But for me, it's just kind of interesting. Typing took a lot of getting used to, and I still can't seem to really get used to it. Mind you, I type one-handed on large phones like the 11 Pro Max or even my old Galaxy Note 10 Plus, which are gigantic phones compared to the iPhone 12 mini. But here I have to use both hands in order to type on this iPhone 12 mini. And that's just because of how small it is. And the thing is, it's because I'm unable to curl or bend my thumb hard enough for it to reach to the right side of the screen here. As you can see here, I just can't touch the right side of the screen if I want to do one hand with it. So I have to use two hands in order to allow my thumb, in order to create some space for my thumb to be able to go to that right side, which is really ironic because I have a two-hands phone and I use that with one hand, but a phone that's supposed to be a one-handed phone, I use that with two hands. But anyways, it's a very solid build and I like the squared off edges there, kind of reminding me of the good old iPhone 4 and the iPhone 4S. So you have that nostalgia, right? Now I went for this black here, which is more of a jet black, and it's a crazy fingerprint magnet. Not sure if you can see it there. Yes, so a true fingerprint magnet. Oh, before I forget, if you're new to the channel, welcome, of course. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do me a huge favor. Take a second, just one moment, to hit both the like and the subscribe button there. That's a huge boost to the channel, and that is one of the best ways to kind of hit the channel with a very positive impact, and I truly appreciate you doing that. But anyways, going back to the back of that phone here, what you have here is the camera module, which is obviously very familiar, where you have that telephoto and the ultra wide angle camera, and this thing is really good. These are some of the pictures that I snapped with this phone, and I already knew that Apple would not disappoint in that camera department, but these are very impressive. On the front of the phone here is something that we're already familiar with, obviously, along with that same notch at the top of the phone. And by the way, that front screen scratches crazy fast. So when you buy this, or if you buy this, make sure to slap a screen protector on there immediately. So that front screen is a 5.4-inch OLED display. So this time we have OLED, which is fantastic, with 2340 by 1080p for the resolution, giving you that really high pixel density because of the size of the phone, right? And it's making things look so good. The colors pop a lot more, they're very vibrant, and images are really sharp. And I really like these bezels here. They actually seem thinner than what you would see on the regular iPhone 12. Performance is fantastic on here with that all-new A14 Bionic chip coupled with that 4 gigs of RAM. Now, as far as battery life goes, I had a surprisingly good battery life on here, despite some of the talks and some of the concerns that were lingering around about the battery on this phone. You know, the assumption was that because it's a small phone, the battery obviously is going to be, shrunk down and it's going to suffer, and the battery life would suffer. But on the first day, I had about 4 hours and 55 minutes of screen on time. But then the following day, it jumped up to about 5 hours and 15 minutes. Then by the third day, I was coming pretty close to 5 hours and 25 minutes, and it kind of stayed around there during the subsequent days. So overall, I would say that I've been averaging a little bit over 5 hours and 15 minutes screen on time, which is actually pleasantly surprising for such a small phone. But obviously it's all subjective, right? So it may depend really on the type of apps that you're using and how you're using it. So you may get less or more battery life than I did. Also, standby time is actually pretty great here. I mean, Apple is known for that. If you don't use the phone, it doesn't die. It's actually pretty good at not killing the battery. But overall, it's a pretty good phone with a new form factor, kind of easy to get used to that new form factor for a lot of people. It offers really good grip with those very sharp edges, and it can easily be slipped in your pocket, or even when you have it in a case, you can still slip that in your pocket and it will still be comfortable in there. One thing I personally think they could have done better is the pricing. In my humble opinion, I just don't think it's worth the $730. I personally think that the regular iPhone 12 should have been kept at the $730, a little bit like they did last year, because as of this year, it seems like that went up just so that it could be replaced, well, price-wise, by this one at $730. But anyways, that was just my take here. I hope you find this informative. Please don't forget, of course, to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I always do. I'm also going to catch you in the next video, and don't forget to hit the links down in the description. Up until that next video, stay safe out there.